It starts off with some goons of a bully beating up the protagonist, Zhao Tianlei, because he was talking to the prettiest girl on campus, kicking and cursing that the toad wants to eat swan meat because he was poor. Lin Mu, a student of the business college and of a rich family, stops his goon, telling Zhao, for the sake of everyone being classmate, this time it's fine. Stepping on Zhao, threatening him, saying that if you let me know that you like her, I'll have your legs broken. Then Lin Mu and his goons left. Sometime after, he calms down, telling himself that revenge is not too late for 10 years, and if he is late for work, the tuition for the semester will be lost. Getting up and brushing off himself, he stepped on a ring and took it up, put it on his finger, and then he had an epiphany, seeing that the dead will be mindless creatures, the animals will become monsters, and humans will become evil. Back to reality, the protagonist was shocked to see what was happening far into the future. The ring with the Supersystem tells Zhao what you saw now is a message of the end of the world that it had stored in his memory. Wanting to show Zhao more, the ring scans the main protagonist. After the scans, Zhao felt nothing different, angrily saying, "What the hell are you? What zombies? What a joke, I don't even believe it." Trying to take off the ring, Zhao screams out in pain, while the super system alerts the protagonist, saying that once the ring is put on, the host cannot remove it by themselves, otherwise there will be danger to their lives, so he better not try any suicidal behavior again. Reluctantly accepting his fate, Tianlei complained that he never killed a chicken and asked how does he deal with the zombies. The super system explained how to access the exchange system in the storage space, resources and weapons inside. The super system further explained that the redemption system resources can be exchanged by killing zombies, accumulating experience and using equal experience to buy things. In addition, there is a bottle of virus evolution fluid inside which can help to improve the physique and strengthening of your ability. But you must keep in mind that the evolution fluid can only work if there's a virus inside the body. If a human is directly injected without the virus in their body, they will become a zombie. Tianlei asked what will happen if I am bitten to death. The system then said if killed by a zombie, the virus evolution fluid has no effect, with additional information of when the outbreak will happen. Then the system went to sleep. Knowing that it's 16 hours before the outbreak, Tianlei tells himself that he must make preparations immediately. Went back to his dorm with a big backpack on his back. Wu Bin asked Tianlei, "You didn't go to class today. I asked you to take time from school. Are you alright?" Tianlei answered, saying that he's fine. Turning to everyone in the room and asked them to listen to him. Without hesitation, he said, "Tomorrow will be doomsday. The world will be occupied by zombies, and the dormitory is the best and safest place in the building." Further stating that the best way to avoid the first wave of shock is to hide here and wait until the point of the outbreak to find an opportunity to survive. The other two occupants in the room burst out in laughter, saying that he's playing too much biochemical games, and push him away, saying that they don't want to be friends with a poor loser and the air is full of sour gas and they were going out to the internet cafe and won't come back until night. Wu Bin asked Tianlei, "Don't you have a high fever? How can you say such silly things?" Tianlei turned and said to Wu Bin, "If you take me as a friend, listen to me." Reluctantly listening, Wu Bin agrees to listen to him. Packed up benches behind the door, the two stayed up all night, depriving themselves of sleep. Then Wu Bin asked Tianlei, "It's dawn, are you still waiting?" Tianlei then said, "Can't relax now, the enemies are coming." Wanting to sleep, Wu Bin asked Tianlei if he is fooled by a boring person. How could there be any zombies? Suddenly, someone knocks on the door, asking for help, saying that things are crazy. Moving to the next scene when the two friends are outside, Wu Bin is apologizing to Tianlei, saying that "you can blame me for being too dumb, otherwise we wouldn't be here." Tianlei said, "Don't blame yourself. Even if the zombie didn't chase us, Xian wouldn't open the door. It's in human nature." Before everyone despised Xian as a man, he remembered it with hatred. Now that the school is in turmoil and order is broken, his inner selfishness and ugliness are released. Wu Bin then looked at Tianlei with surprise. Tianlei then said, Because I have always been the target of bullying, I understand the feeling. But Xian slapped the class president and I will return it back twofold. Then Tianlei and Wu Bin entered the library from the back door. In the library, a student can be seen asking the team leader if it still hurt, cursing Xian that he's a nobody and did not open the door for Tianlei. Feeling remorseful, the team leader said the action of the other students made she feel so bad, and if someone just stood up and said something, it would make Xian less arrogant, but everyone looked down on them for their own sake. Xian said to Sitong, "Don't say it like that like you are some kind of saint. If you were so great, why didn't you just get all the zombies away? Didn't you see what was happening? You still think you are the class leader?" Someone shouts out, "Xian Hao," surprised and turned around. One right hook to his face. Dumbfounded, he asked, "How is it possible for you to get in?" Wu Bin angrily grabs him and said, "Did you know we almost got fed up on zombies?" Xian said it was for the safety of the class. The zombies were chasing you. If the door was open to let them in, people would die in here. So to save everyone, I had to do it. Agree to disagree, Tianlei agrees and says he's right. Class leader happy to see Tianlei and Wu Bin asking if they are alright, and if it wasn't for them, everyone would have died. Tianlei see the scars on the team leader's face, walked up to Xian and said, "Who do you think you are?" Slapped him on his right jaw, slapped him on his left jaw, and left him with a warning: if he do anything ill-intent, he will die. Then he apologized to the team leader, saying that he has failed to open the door, causing her to suffer outside. She says not to call her class leader anymore because she cannot protect their class, and therefore to call her Sitong. Tianlei reassures her as long as he is alive, he will protect her. Sitong was delighted to hear that. Tianlei then asks, "Have you seen Shen?" Sitong then thinks to herself, "I used to hear that Tianlei liked Shen. It turns out to be true. And he's a good person." The other students start to complain how they are hungry and want something to eat. Not long after, two groups of students start to argue about enduring hunger or going outside to be the zombie lunch. Frustrated about the hunger, everyone starts to look on the lower level for food, but to no avail, no one found any. A student points out that they should go to the second floor to the curator's office, thinking that food was there, but to their surprise, Lin Mu and his goons were there, blocking off the entrance to the second floor. Notoriously known for his evil deeds, a student walked up to him and said, "There was no food on the floor. We came to find out if we had something to eat on the second floor." Moments later, one power kick to the student's chest, sending him rolling down the steps like a dice. Another female student helps him up and asks Xiao Hao if he's okay. Lin Mu then went on and threatened everyone, saying that the staircase to the second floor is his and no one should cross it. And if anyone wants any food, they should exchange the food for their valuables. And if females do not have anything to exchange, they can exchange it with their beautiful and delicate bodies. One of the female students calls him a stinking rogue and slaps the bread out of his hand. Angering Lin Mu slaps her in her face, calling her a smelly woman, and how dare she scolds him. Sitong then shouts out for Lin Mu to let her go, and now that there are zombies outside, they should be united. How dare he bully their classmate? And besides, the library is not your home. The food here belongs to everyone. And why do you take it for yourselves? Lin Mu said that you used to use your class monitor position against him. Now that the teacher are dead, let's see who else will support you. Frightening her, will she take off her clothes to show everyone how good she is, or him and his goons should take it off? Tianlei steps in and said, "Just stop it. Don't go too far." Lin Mu laughed and said, "A hero wants to save the beauty, and it seems that you are not satisfied with the beating you get yesterday." Tianlei said, "That's right. Before I was bullied by you, but as you said, the world has changed and your Lin Mu era should be over. And if you think you can do whatever you want as before, you should try it." Shocked by Tianlei's reaction, Lin Mu Gun said the axe is sharp and Tianlei is a madman and cannot be reasoned with. Lin Mu then said, "For the sake of classmates, I'm on the second floor and you guys should stay on the first floor." as long as no one violates me. But if anyone dares to sneak up and steal things, don't blame me for being rude. The crowd then disperse, and Tianlei tells his goons to block off the second stairs and to find some weapons quickly. Knowing that his friends are hungry, Tianlei said that he's going outside for food. Wu Bin and Sitang protest for him not to go outside, but Tianlei said rest assured nothing will happen. Running outside, hiding, dashing from left to right just to avoid the zombies, he then finds himself in an alley where there are some dead students and some food scattered on the ground. He thinks to himself, although the food I bought for myself before are enough for me to maintain for a while, but if Wu Bin and Sitang are added, they will be eaten sooner or later. Packing the bag without a care in the world, he suddenly hears a sound of a zombie. Quickly, he evaded the zombies and went in another building. What a blessing in disguise. He is in the kitchen, where he is searching around and found some steamed rice in a rice cooker. Worried and standing by the door, Sitang and Wu Bin suddenly hear knocking at the door. Sitang hugs Tianlei and said, "You're finally back." Tianlei blushes and said, "Sorry to make you worry. You must be hungry. Look what I've got here. Rice." After their fill, Tianlei said that he will hide the food and we must never let the other find food on us, otherwise we'll be the target of all the other people. Sitang says, "But we have so many classmates here." Wu Bin said, "Gee, class monitor, don't ever have pity for them again. Tianlei risked his life for this food. If we share it with others, it won't be enough for a single bite by everyone, and if we become hungry, then no one will care about us." After chowing down the rice, the three friends then went back to the hall where everyone is. Lin Mu came back down and said, Well, isn't this Shen, our superstar? You know I'm upstairs. How could you not come up and find me? I have food and water and I surely won't let you feel wronged. Wu Bin said, Tianlei, that's your goddess. She's also here. Why didn't we see her just before? Sitang then looks at them, wondering what they are talking about. The agent said, Excuse me. Shinyu indeed hasn't eaten for a long time. If you have some food can give, we would really appreciate it. Lin Mu signaled one of his goons to give them some food. Lin Mu says to Shinyu, it is dangerous for a girl like you to stay here and others will easily take your food. How about going upstairs with me? I'll protect you. Shinyu thanks Lin Mu for giving her bread and water, but she says she wants to stay with the others. Lin Mu grabs her hand and said, Don't be shy, just go with me. Shinyu shouts out, Let me go. Seeing Lin Mu antagonizing Shinyu gets Tianlei angry. Shinyu slaps Lin Mu in the face and said, Don't ever think I'll just take your order if you give me some food. I'm not good for nothing. Giving back Lin Mu Goon the food. Lin Mu said, You're a C-class star. Play innocent. Let's see how long you can take it, and later you'll definitely come and beg me for food. Lin Mu and his goons then left. Tianlei then went over and asked, Did you get hurt? Shinyu agent said, I'm sorry. Shinyu is already tired. She needs to have a rest. If you really care about her, please do not disturb her. Tianlei said, Don't get me wrong. I mean no harm. I just want to give you some food and water. And remind them to go easy on the food and not let the others find out. He puts down the food and then leave. Moments later, Wu Bin asks Tianlei, Sitang doesn't seem to be happy. Did you mess with her? Tianlei is wondering what did he do. Wu Bin said, Since you gave Shinyu a meal, our class leader is not happy. Sitang blushed and said, What are you talking about? Suddenly, there was a commotion. Everyone was frightened and shocked. Tianlei hurries to where everyone is. Then one of the students said, Someone jumped off the second floor. Further saying that, Isn't that the girl Quan Ho brought upstairs? Everyone speculating and saying that Lin Mu is really not human. Tianlei with his angry face saying this group of bastards. Wu Bin stops him, telling him not to be impulsive. Further saying, Did you not say that they have a lot of people? And if conflict were to break out, we are the ones who will suffer. Tianlei takes off his shirt and covers the dead body and said, Classmate, rest in peace. I, Zhao Tianlei, promise you, those who cause your death will have no good ending. Lin Mu said, Tianlei, how dare you curse me? You remember, sooner or later, or one day, I, Lin Mu, will let you kneel in front of me and beg for mercy. Later that night, Tianlei woke up from the sound of zombies knocking at the door. Everyone got up and said what they should do. Zombies about to attack. Tianlei shouts, Stop fighting, hurry up and reinforce the doors and don't let those zombies rush in. Telling all the male students to carry and push the bookcase over to block the door and telling the girls to move away. Everyone is working together to get the door blocked. Then Tianlei thinks to himself that the back door isn't locked. At the back door, if the zombies were to come in, everyone would die. Suddenly, someone screams out help. When Tianlei looks, the dead corpse on the ground begins to walk. Sitang and Wu Bin begin to wonder how could she be a zombie because she was already dead. Wu Bin said, haven't you watched a movie like this before? After being bitten or injured by a zombie, it usually takes some time to change. Maybe she was injured by a zombie outside, but she has still not yet turned into a zombie before. The zombie girl runs after the student. Everyone panicked, running, shouting and screaming. Then Tianlei used the axe to chop the zombie in its head. The students that are bracing the bookshelf was startled by a sound. Suddenly the zombies ran through the back door. Tianlei shouts, Wu Bin, protect Sitang, and then running away. Wu Bin says, okay. Everyone was running to the second floor. Stampede was going on. Lin Mu and his goons locked themselves inside the office and saying that if you don't want to be killed by zombies, go away. The scene turns back to Tianlei when he grabs Xin Yu's hand and told her to follow him. Tianlei said there was no way upstairs. If you run up, you are just waiting to be killed by zombies. Trust me, I will take you to safety. The 5 of them are running in the same direction. Everyone was running until they reached the bathroom. Wu Bin asked, why did we run into the men's toilet? I thought the door was open to outside. Xin Yu agent said, are you from our school? Why don't you know where the escape route is? Wu Bin said, I don't really come here all year around. Then he said, close the door. Xin Yu agent said, even if I die, I don't want to die in the men's toilet. It's too shameful. Tianlei said, it seems that all the zombies around have been attracted to the library, but we are not sure if there are still zombies outside. Wu Bin, I will carry you up to see what's going on outside. Wu Bin, looking like a scaredy cat, says to Tianlei, there are no zombies outside and there is a car over on the playground. Tianlei said, climb up out of the window and meet everyone outside. Tianlei then turned to the 3 females and said, hurry up the 3 of you. You go first and I'll come after. Sitang being rebellious and said, let them go first. Xin Yu agent turned to Tianlei and said, help others to help others. Don't take advantage of opportunities. Do not look up, prompting Tianlei not to look up under Xin Yu's skirt. Tianlei then turned to Sitang and said, it's your turn. Sitang then said, what would you do if I leave? The window is so high, there's nothing to step on here. How can you go up alone? Tianlei said, rest assured, I have a way. Sitang still blabbering about how would Tianlei get out. Tianlei looks at her. How can she be unreasonable in times like these? Tianlei furiously grabbed her by the hand and said, you have been a squad leader for a long time. Do you think you can fight against zombies? If I'm alone, I can still deal with them. If you stay, you will only become a burden. Don't think I'm not enough. Don't trouble me anymore. She reluctantly agrees and say, I have something to tell you. Kissed him on the cheek while crying and said, I like you. Promise me you must come out alive and join us. Tianlei said, I promise. While pushing her through the window, there comes the zombies. Tianlei then run to brace the door and tell Sitang to go, and also said to Wu Bin, don't wait for me. Take them first. Find a safe place and I'll find you later. After everyone left, Tianlei lets all the zombies in and chopped everything that comes through the door. The aftermath of the battle, corpse lying on the bathroom ground and Tianlei walking like some half-dead man, then falls to the ground in the rain. The Supersystem then alarmed and notified Tianlei that there's an abnormality in his body and many parts of his body was infected by the biochemical virus and prompt him to inject the virus evolution fluid as soon as possible, otherwise he will become a zombie. Tianlei said, I always think maybe I don't need it, but I almost can't survive. Tianlei thinks to himself, does this thing really work? What if it cannot be cured after injection, but becomes something more terrible? However, I don't have a choice now, I have to gamble. Tianlei then injects himself with the fluid and was there for a while, saying to himself again, no response. Could it be expired? Suddenly Tianlei starts to feel excruciating pain and falls unconscious.